The first time Karen parked in my driveway, I laughed it off. People make mistakes. The second time, I left a polite note. The third time, she backed her gleaming Porsche so close to my garage that my own car couldn't squeeze past. And something inside me that had been patient for years finally snapped. It wasn't really about the car. It was about being invisible in my own neighborhood. About rules that applied to everyone but her. About the small humiliations that add up until you can't breathe. Karen was the HOA's golden girl. Sharp nails, sharper tongue, and a ledger full of petty fines she loved to dish out. She'd once called me at 8 in the morning to lecture about a single dandelion that dared grow by my fence. Neighbors nodded when she spoke, as if power were contagious. When she started using my driveway as her personal valet, the nods felt like knives. I tried talking. I tried calling the board. The board smiled thinly and said, "We'll look into it." Weeks went by. Her shadow kept falling across my garage, so I did something absurd. I rented a forklift for a day, the kind you see at farms and warehouses, awkward and honest. I drove it down the street like a man with one last thread of decency tied to his hands. I didn't want to humiliate her. I wanted to make a point that even the smallest acts of thoughtlessness are visible if you choose to see them. I lifted the Porsche an inch, then two, careful and methodical, like a surgeon. I rolled it gently, toward the curb, and set it down on the street where it belonged. No damage. No vandalism, just relocation and a message. When Karen came out, lipstick as perfect as always, she saw her car where it shouldn't be and shrieked in a voice that had terrorized potlucks and board meetings for a decade. The neighbors came out too, some frowning, some smirking, others suddenly uncomfortable. No one called the police. No one applauded. What happened instead was quieter and, to me, more devastating for her. For the first time, Karen stood small, the way the rest of us often had to. A woman she'd bullied for years looked her directly in the eye and asked, "Is this how you want to be remembered?" After that morning, the parking stopped. The board sent a letter short, "Firm and my driveway stayed mine." I returned the forklift, feeling lighter and oddly ashamed at the spectacle I'd made. Justice, I learned, doesn't always need the roar of punishment. Sometimes it needs a simple recalibration of boundaries. I didn't celebrate. I brewed coffee, sat on my porch, and watched the neighborhood breathe a little easier, Karen included, because the rules finally held for everyone.